I am coming to you this morning from Northern Virginia. Sometimes you'll see me in Annapolis, but wherever we are, here we are. We're arriving. So we will record this meeting, and I would like to just extend the deepest, most heartfelt welcome to each of you. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Laurie Cameron. I'm a meditation teacher. I'm an author, and I bring mindfulness and compassion programs and retreats to companies and universities and to Insight Timer and to the Center for Mindful Living. It's a real honor for me because the teaching is just deepening my own study and practice. So I'm grateful for you to have me here this morning. This morning's class is about finding refuge in the oneness that's available in all moments. I like to say that it's already always here. And today we're going to practice accessing this relaxed awareness. Some call this the direct path. We have a progressive path with a lot of steps and skills that we build up to in meditation. And then we also have a direct path, a way of relaxing back into what is already here. It's a letting go of all the doing. So that's going to be our focus of exploration today. And before we move into discussion and Dharma talk and sharing, I want us to actually explore the felt embodied sense of this direct path, this way of being. So I invite you to stretch your body just a bit. It's always good. It's like a yoga asana in the chair or standing up, just stretching the body. And then allowing your body to just come right into this present moment, just come into arriving. Mm. You can close your eyes if you like. We're closing the sense doorways to support letting go of the mind's desire to take in data and work with it. We're just closing down, bringing attention inward. And let's begin with bringing attention to the body, just feeling the life that's right here. You might notice the body breathing, feeling the felt sensation of breathing. Move attention down through the body to the feet. Feel the feet touching the earth, touching the ground. You might invite a sense of stability and support in through the feet to the body. The body is the experiencer of life. We begin by moving attention here, bringing awareness to the full aliveness that we are so honored to enjoy. Feeling the feet moving up, the legs moving to the sits bones, up the back, feeling the shoulders, moving around to the front of the body. You might put a hand on the heart for a moment, on the chest, feeling the rise and fall of the chest. And now bringing another hand to the abdomen. Feeling this tender, beautiful body breathe. Now move attention deeper into the heart area. Imagine breathing in and out of the heart center. We may have been quite contracted this week. The news of the day can be very painful. Life can be painful. Love, relationships. And here we soften, breathing in and out of the heart. Inviting Thich Nhat Hanh's mantra, breathing in. I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out. I know that I'm breathing out. Breathing in, here. Breathing out, now. As we gather attention, we bring it to a single point of focus, giving the mind an anchor, a place to rest attention. Feeling the in-breath and the out-breath. Thoughts are coming, thoughts are going. Mindful breathing is my anchor. Bringing attention to the inhale and the exhale. Resting attention in the midst of it all, right here on the breath. Simply breathing. When the mind wanders, thoughts come in, you become distracted. No problem. Simply return attention to the breath, feeling the in-breath and the out-breath. Gathering the mind, resting attention. Inviting relaxation just a little bit more. Softening the jaw. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the hands. Relaxing the legs. Inviting this next breath into a softening belly. Arriving. With this practice of focused attention, mindful breathing meditation, we gather the mind and give it rest. Give it an anchor, a place to land. Allowing the breath to calm and settle the mind. The body calms the mind. And now, if you like, you can lift off from attending to the breath, widening the aperture of attention to take in everything around you and inside you. Just being here. You can open some of the sense doorways, attuning to sound in the space. Maybe you hear a bird, thinking, is spring here already? Can I come home? Or the movement of a pet. Maybe you're aware of physiological sensations in the body. Maybe there's a warmth moving in as we bring awareness to all of us here together, breathing, resting, being fully aware in this moment together. Noticing a thought, labeling it, remembering, thinking, or anxious, fearful. Maybe it's a thought of gratitude. Just welcoming everything. Full open awareness. Whenever you like, you can bring attention back to the breath, narrowing the aperture, inviting a single point of focus again to the breath coming in and going back out. Resting the mind with a focused concentration. Simply being with the breath. And then widening out again. You might sense your body as a whole, locating yourself and the geography that you are, the land that you're sitting on, just taking it all in. This being human. Every day a new visitor. So we just welcome everything that's here. You might say, this belongs. Resting in a wider awareness. You can put a hand on the heart, sending kindness inward. Allowing compassion to flow through to this life. And then widening the aperture of compassion out. Sending and receiving the deepest forms of blessing. Sending them out in widening circles, waves. You might begin with yourself, the life that's right here. May you find peace. May you find solace. May you find comfort. May you access the joy that's always available. And then you may bring to mind specific people, maybe loved ones, seeing their faces before you in your mind's eye. See if you can include those that are easy to love and those that were very challenging to love. And sending out blessings. May you be peaceful. May you have what you need to navigate this life. May you know that you are loved and that you belong. And then widening the heart, including those that are in groups that are particularly suffering today from devastation and hunger, from war, from loss, from fires, from natural tragedies, from policy changes, from job loss, from illness. Just widening the heart as wide as the world. And just sending out from the radiant core of your bodhisattva nature the deepest blessings. May you feel supported. May you know you're not alone. May you have the resources you need. May you find peace. Now bringing attention back to the breath, gathering attention, feeling the in-breath and the out-breath, and this expanded, widened heart. Resting here for a moment. I invite you again to widen the aperture, widening awareness, taking in the life that's here, this body, this breath, this beating heart. And experiment with relaxing back, imagining, envisioning, or sensing the wider field of spacious, loving awareness. Surrendering the doing, letting go of attention, just being. You might pull awareness back behind the eyes, even to the back of the head, behind the head, above the head. Resting, allowing the boundary of where you begin and end to fall away. really letting go, resting, surrendering to the stream of energy and aliveness that's already always here, flowing through you, around you, from you. Maybe you get a glimpse or a glimmer of that field, that spacious, loving awareness. We're practicing. Relaxing back, resting, opening, opening the heart wider. Simply being. Resting in awareness, in nowness, presencing, just being present. As you rest back, relax back, I invite you to bring awareness to knowing all of those here who are breathing and being and practicing with you. Opening to the energy of Sangha, of community, breathing together, arriving in the here and now together. You might envision us all sitting in a clearing. Maybe it's a meadow, shoulder to shoulder in a circle, breathing together, simply being with ease, equanimity, peace. You might put a hand on your heart, pressing a bit, feeling the life here, and envisioning one hand on the back of a person next to you in this community, or someone that you don't know or can't see or don't even know that's practicing right here with you. Just resting in our belonging to each other. Sending and receiving. Sending and receiving goodness, metta, loving kindness, blessings. Living in our bodhisattva nature, our true nature, our birthright. And just sending loving wishes and feeling them come into you. You may even envision them going across in all directions in the circle. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be healthy and strong. May you be safe and protected. And may you know that you are loved and walk your path with ease. Resting, breathing, being aware of the miracle of being alive, and just taking refuge in the field of spacious awareness today and in the community that's right here. Taking a deep breath in, a slow, relaxing exhale. I invite you to open your eyes when you're ready. Namaste. Thank you all for your practice. I invite you to take another nice stretch. You might even stand up. I think I will. Ah, allowing the energy to move through the body. So glad to be with you all. And thank you for the practice, for practicing together. Coming back, arriving, sitting like a majestic mountain. That's what my teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, always said. So this morning, we are coming together. We take refuge in community. The Buddha teaches us to take refuge in the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And the Buddha is our, it's not a thing out here. It is our bodhisattva nature. Some call it the Christ consciousness, the spirit, the radiant light, the joy, that place of awareness and compassion that resides within. So we take refuge in that and we cultivate that. In our practice, we went right in there. We connected with that Buddha nature, that bodhisattva nature. And the other jewel is the Dharma. We take refuge in the universal teachings, the truth. And these span religions, whether it's the Quran or the Torah or the Bible. We take refuge in the truth with a capital T, and we share them, we read, we practice, we come together to navigate this very challenging life, these very difficult times. We do that together, and then that brings us to the third jewel, the Sangha. I've been practicing for 30 years in the tradition of Plum Village with my teacher, the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. And Thich Nhat Hanh, who passed away January 2022 and continues through so many of us around the world, teaches us to go like a river. He always says, go like a river, go together in community. So when times are really, really difficult, challenging, painful, like they are today, like they are right now, we take refuge in community. It's our biological nature when we are triggered or activated, upset or angry or afraid. It's our nature to withdraw, to isolate. And so we want to counter that tendency to come together like we are this morning, to meet in community, to call a bunch of people and have them over for dinner later tonight, to look at this week ahead and look at how you can practice in community. So those are the three jewels, and that's the backdrop for this morning's class, for the Center for Mindful Living, for all that we're doing together. And then today I wanted to deepen attention to something called the direct path. And the direct path can be a powerful refuge in what are very psychically noisy times. So the news of the day, throughout the day, in this early part of 2025, can be pretty shocking for many. And when we are taking in this kind of news, taking in challenges, dealing with our own humanity, the own suffering and challenges that we have as being human, it can be incredibly helpful to have a way to relax back away from all the noise, away from the cognitive analyzing, away from the habituated conditioning of the mind to judge, to make wrong, to resist. Now, I'm not saying that we need to agree with what's happening in the world, but we want an ability to drop below that cognitive analytical engagement. And this brings us to the direct path. So I'll begin with a contrast of what the direct path is not, or another way to think about a path to meditation, a path to peace, a path to equanimity, is sometimes called the progressive path. And this is a path where we take particular steps, right? We learn the Four Noble Truths. We learn the Eightfold Path. These are in the Buddhist Dharma, in the Buddhist body of teachings, the some of the steps that we learn in how to engage the mind and heart and how to cultivate skills so that we can become more and more free from all the conditioning that it means to be human. And those are very, very useful. So the progressive path, beginning with arriving here in the body, beginning with building the skill of attention. Attention is a capacity and it's a skill. And we can learn to direct attention on demand. And we can cultivate a focused attention skill. And then we can cultivate an open awareness or a meta attention skill, for example. So these are some of the skills that we learn as we walk a progressive path. We may learn the skill of interoception, directing attention into the body, noticing physiological sensations as they're arising, which are emotions, being able to name emotions, being able to use practices like RAIN, recognizing, allowing, investigating, and nurturing whatever's here. Learning practices like the body scan, just scanning the body to sense our present moment experience and work skillfully with it. All of these skills are incredibly valuable and very useful in building up our capacity to arrive in a present, open, aware state, to cultivate and practice connecting with others with empathy, and then engaging with compassion, These are all trainable skills, and these are on the progressive path. And yet there's another way to arrive in this place of peace, this place of equanimity. Equanimity can be thought of as peaceful easygoingness, a field where we're not hooked, as Pema Chodron says. We're not activated. We're not getting triggered. We're in this very peaceful, deep place of non-attachment in beingness. And so there's a way of letting go of a subject-object orientation. When we're practicing mindfulness meditation, which we did in the beginning of the meditation I led you in, we have a subject and an object. I, the subject, am paying attention to the object, to the breath. And I'm mindful of the breath. And then I get distracted and I come back to the breath. So there's me and the breath, or me and a candle, or me and a beautiful oak tree, or me and another person that I'm sending blessings to. So this is a very helpful way to train and beautiful practice to help us arrive into a place of equanimity and peace. And the direct path invites us to actually just relax back into that field, that place of peace that is already there. So for those of us in the West with Western minds, this can be very challenging to think about. There are many reasons it's so challenging. One is, I know for me, with my Christian upbringing, a person who went to church 3 times a week, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night, not to mention Friday morning Bible study, I was deeply trained and conditioned that I am not enough, that I'm a sinner, that there's separation between me and God. And that deep conditioning can sometimes be a barrier to recognizing that that field, that source energy, that love, that God, it's itself, herself is right here. And that we can relax back right into that field. So the direct path can be thought of as that relaxing back. Another thing that makes it very challenging, as someone who has spent a career in learning and development, in leadership development, I'm an educator and teacher, is that we are very much conditioned that there is a set of ideal skills and competencies that are out here and we are here, that there's a big gap. And our job is to develop all the skills and competencies until we arrive at the ideal. Whether you're a hockey player or a software engineer or whatever you are, there's this rubric of what we're learning, what we want to become, and the path that we need to take to get the knowledge and skills and behaviors in order to be there. So this is deeply conditioned. And I'm not saying it isn't true. I'm saying there is another way in this meditation journey, in this meditative path, and this path to awareness and peace. And that is relaxing back into that ideal field of love that is already there and is part of our innate Christ consciousness, our bodhisattva nature. So we are letting go of the cognitive analyzations. We're letting go of that ladder of skills that we've got to work through. We're letting go of techniques, of methods, and just relaxing right back. And we can do that at any time. We do it. We may be standing in a beautiful field and look up and see a bald eagle in a tree and just kind of, the boundaries dissolve, right? We're right there in oneness with that eagle. Or you might be standing at the edge of an ocean and feeling the ebb and flow of the water coming in and out, the colors changing and blending, the sound, the smell, the spray, and you just kind of lose that sense of separate self. You relax into that oneness. So we know what it's like. The meditation teacher, Lot Kelly, calls it effortless mindfulness. We just relax back into this way of being where we're allowing a surrender into what's here. And this is a deceptively simple practice. And it can feel hard to slip into. We have so many neural pathways. We have so many grooves in the record of our lives that we've trained and conditioned over and over and over, ways of thinking, ways of being that are the antithesis of this surrendering into a spacious, loving field. So we have to give ourselves a break. I love that phrase, deceptively simple. I got that from the meditation teacher, Jeff Warren. I just love him. He founded the Consciousness Explorers Club in Toronto, and he talks about this direct path. So simple, yet we can struggle. And for that reason, instead of, in this guided meditation today, instead of moving right into that field, like just having us begin and then just surrender and relax back, which would be the direct way to the direct path, I began with the opposite, right? I took us through the progressive path and then let go. And that has been really, really helpful in my own practice. And particularly when my mind is racing, when my heart is contracted, when I'm feeling anger and fear and uncertainty and disbelief at things that are transpiring, or that's something that's happening in my own life, or something I did, when I'm feeling that cringe of like, oof, that oof, as some say, I find it easier to walk across the bridge of arriving into the body and then giving attention, a single point of focus, concentrating the mind, allowing the mind and body to settle, allowing the body to calm the mind. And then the next set is relaxing off of that concentration point and widening into open awareness. There's still a subject object happening in open awareness. I'm still noticing sounds. I'm noticing a breeze on the cheek. I'm aware of the body that's right here. I'm taking it all in. I'm aware of thoughts moving through. There's still subject object, but it's not a single point. It's wide. And then I think today I took us into a little heart practice, opening up, sending and receiving loving kindness to others. So now we're thinking about other people, other groups, other relationships. So we're still in subject object. We're still sending and receiving. And then we went even wider and we let all of that fall away. Rumi says, out in the field between, out in the field beyond right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. And so we're going to that field. We're going to the field where there's no othering. There's no, I'm right, he's wrong, she's wrong. This is good, this is bad. No, we're letting that fall away. And that is challenging. That's why we worked up to it in today's meditation. But this field is this place of oneness. One teacher put it this way, Atisha: join whatever you meet with awareness practice, so even the unexpected becomes the path. And then he also has this one: only a joyful, open mind and attitude can sustain you. It's already always there. So while we're moving through all the challenges, all the hard times, all the loss, all the grief, we're remembering that this field of love and joy is there. We can access it. And we can access it with these steps that I went through, but we can also just simply practice effortless mindfulness, simply relaxing back, connecting. There's a connection and then a dropping away. Realizing that the joyful open mind is already always there. It's there to sustain you. We start with becoming aware of the rising and falling of the breath. And then we bring in this lucid awareness to all that's here. So the breath gives us an anchor, and then we widen into lucid awareness. I've done a lot of work and studied with the Presencing Institute at MIT. And the Presencing Institute, they introduced, Otto Scharmer and his colleagues introduced this word presencing. It's combining presence with sensing. And so when we bring in this clear awareness, when we're dropping back, we can drop into this quality of presencing. And in this place, we're letting go of that conditioned mind. We're letting go of the hurts and the pains and the traumas. We're letting go of the deeply habituated ways of ruminating and worrying and behaviors of like taking in the news and more news and more news, or ranting or calling a friend and just stirring the mind. We're actually dropping back. We're letting go and letting be. And so what arises is a sense of no separation with this field that's already always here. I invite you to practice this. What we practice, we become. What we practice gets stronger. So there might have been parts of today's meditation that felt very familiar, very tangible, easier. And maybe there were parts of it that felt like, ooh, and that's normal. We're really in a zone of arriving into our deepest being. And ironically, in that deepest being, we lose that sense of being separate. We realize what all the fuss is about with oneness and this place of belonging. So we let go. We're just purely presencing. I invite you to close your eyes and just see what it would be like just to right here and right now drop all the techniques, all the steps, all the lists. Just see if you can just breathe and then rest back. Feeling the energy of aliveness, feeling the loving field of source, of God, of nature, of a higher power, that permeates every cell of every sentient being. Just breathing here, dear one. Allow yourself to rest in this field of loving awareness. Inviting gratitude to arise. It may already be right here, the aroma of gratitude that we have a path, that we have a way to connect to the divine, to the field of love. That very nature, that essence of who we are. We are the sun and the sunbeams. So just feeling the warmth of that sun as a ball of light and energy in you and around you, finding solace and nourishment in these very challenging times. Taking a deep breath in and a deep, relaxing, letting go breath. And opening the eyes when you're ready. Thank you for being with me in this practice, in this Dharma talk. What we will do now, if you can stay with us longer, is we will have a short movement practice guided by Emily. We'll do that for about 5 minutes or so, just stretching the body in all directions. And then we'll come back for Q&A, discussion, hearing what landed for you, what insights you would like to share. We'll do a Q&A, and then we'll close our Sunday morning class. Thank you. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you. Let me invite you to stand up or remain seated and just adapt whatever we're doing, shifting our weight from side to side and slowly drawing the arms up, opening up into the space around you, drawing the gaze to follow your arms, seeing what is here, seeing the familiar and sensing within the body this flow, this movement in this moment. And then open up wide, embracing where you are, lifting the arms up. Exhale, soften the shoulders and the elbows, and then extend that left arm higher, dropping it down. Extending the right arm higher, and drop that down. Grasp your left wrist in your right hand, find a firm stance, and extend over, just trying to keep the line from the base of that left spine. And you could lift up and just find your way into a place of comfort and ease here. Allowing that right elbow to soften. Inhale up, switch wrists, extending over to the other side, Breathing into the right rib cage, exhale, softening the left elbow, just to find a place of comfort. Inhale up, float the arms down, draw your shoulders up as if you had balls under both arms. Exhale down, drawing your up, exhale down. Drawing your arms up into cactus arms. And just for a moment, squeeze your shoulder blades together, opening your chest and release back. Squeezing your shoulder blades together, drawing the elbows back and release. Then drop the hands down and rise. Exhale, dropping down. Rising up, extending the arms out, flip that left palm up, take a look. Turn the right thumb down. And then switch over to the right palm up, left thumb down. Back to the left. Back to the right. Back to the left. And to the right. And then drop both arms down, rolling your shoulders back. Just noticing how your body has so many capabilities and the vibrations within the body. Now shake it out. And I'd like to move into a forward fold as soon as I get the chair away. And all you need to do is place your hands at the hip crease. Extend the hips back. So you're just in line with your spine. It's perpendicular to the floor. And then if you'd like to drop your chin down, lengthening your neck, drop your hands down to above your knees, working with your level, your capabilities and ease. And if you'd like to drop your arms down, you could even sway a little bit from side to side. Just to notice the pull of gravity, breathing into the back of the body, exhale. Whew. And then drawing your hands above your knees, extending your spine. Again, the hips reach back, slowly tucking your tailbone under. Start the rise, breathing in, drawing the shoulders up to around your ears, dropping them down. Lifting the arms up, centering them above the head, finding your place. That line through the body, and then drawing your hands to your heart and take a bow. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Gosh, I need that.